Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today's video is brought to you by my brand new friends over at Ellis, Brooklyn. That's right, we have a fragrance video for you today. They were kind enough to send over 6 of some of their most popular fragrances, and I'm going to take you through them. If you are already a fan of Ellis Brooklyn, you are certainly in the right place. And if you're new to Ellis Brooklyn, then, pull up a chair and lend me your ear and let's chat about some of the most lovely fragrances out there. So I'm so happy to have you here. Don't forget that you can also watch my content over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. Okay, but we got a lot to do here, so let's get into it. As I told you, Ellis Brooklyn sent me over a bunch of their best-selling fragrances. I am really a sucker. I like a little bit of a floral scent, but I admit I'm really a sucker for a beautiful gourmand scent. If I want to just go through the bottle and eat it, then it makes me happy. And these are delectable. So let's talk a little bit about it. Have you heard about Ellis Brooklyn? They are very high-end luxury fragrances founded in June of 2015 by B. Shapiro, who made her name covering beauty for none other than the New York Times. Ellis Brooklyn was founded to embrace the power of fragrance, kind of as a silent language, a retreat and a reconnection. And if you really think about it, that is what fragrance does for us. Certain scents take us back to a time, the scent even of food scents like chocolate chip cookies or coming into our mother's home and smelling something cooking. And it's the same with personal fragrance that we wear. I know there's certain fragrances that immediately take me back to playing in the coats of my grandmother's closet. And B. Shapiro was looking just at that transformative kind of reconnection and sustainable luxury. In fact, all the Eau de Parfum is paraben-free and phthalate-free. It's all PETA certified. I'm holding one of my favorite bottles right now. And the bottles themselves are composed of glass to reuse or recycle. You can remove the cap and, the spray parts and the components, and you can rinse out and reuse the glass, or, you can go ahead and recycle it. Plus this cap, this little compression cap, is actually Bakelite, which is a great material, and that's completely biodegradable. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. I have to tell you, I have 6 fragrances here. Some are a little bit less gourmand, but they all really appeal to me. And I have been living in these fragrances because I put them on in the morning and then they're still there in the late afternoon. They don't change their scent. I don't know about you guys, but I have had experiences with brands that will remain nameless that are luxury fragrances, and the scent changes as the day goes on, and these never changed on me. They remained really true. And we're going to talk about Eau de Parfum, and we're going to talk about some of their body mists. So I'm going to tell you all about it, and these are all my favorites that I have literally been living in. Layering, I've had them for well over a month, and I've really been enjoying them. I feel a little bit silly because I wasn't familiar with Ellis Brooklyn, and I brought this up to my members only group, and they all knew, and they all had like items in their cart ready to go. I kind of kicked myself around the block. I am new to the game, but I am a converted fan, let me tell you. So let's go ahead and get into some of my favorite fragrances, how to use them, what their notes are, and you guys, don't be intimidated by it. I am a fragrance novice. I don't know anything about fragrance, but I know what I like. I know what smell makes me happy and stays with me. And these are so beautiful because, I'll tell you about the body mist you can use all over, the perfume. Let's get into it and talk a little bit about it. And I want to start with one of my favorites. This is the Eau de Parfum Vanilla Milk. I want you to look at this beautiful frosted glass here. That's really important in a perfume because you don't want your perfume to be out in light. Sometimes I'll even keep mine in the boxes, but this is really nice because it's a beautiful, beautiful packaging and it's frosted. So it really protects the product inside from light. This is $110 and you get 50 milliliters, which is a really nice size. You're not going to run out of this quickly, and it lasts all day, doesn't change its scent. Now, the cool thing about this vanilla, I don't know if you've ever tried, I've tried every vanilla out there because I love vanilla. I mean, I like, vanilla, the baking ingredient, and you can't wear that on your skin. But I really look for a vanilla that's not too sweet. This one isn't too sweet because it has 2 types of vanilla extract, and it's got a little bit of floral, just that little hint of floral and a hint of cocoa. Nothing goes better with vanilla than cocoa. So altria and milk accord. It's got these kind of creamy milk top notes and peony rose. It's got the middle of it is kind of a vanilla bourbon bean, Madagascar vanilla bean extract, and upcycled cocoa shell extract. It's just got a little bit, it goes a little bit earthy without getting too sweet. Because some vanilla fragrances by other brands, some that are very famous and luxurious, can get too sweet. I love the fact that this is grounded without losing its sweetness. It's got amyris and sandalwood, a little bit of musk when it dries down, but it doesn't change. It still remains really pretty and very vanilla identifiable. Now let's talk about an eau de parfum, because this is the strongest one we're looking at today. If you like a lighter fragrance, we're going to be looking at some body mists in just a moment. But when we put on an eau de parfum, there's a lot of misinformation out there, because we always see in the movies, we see a woman or a man put on their perfume or cologne and then rub their wrists together. Did you actually know you're not supposed to do that? Go ahead and spray it on the pulse points and then allow it to dry on its own so you're not breaking up and interfering with the fragrance. I don't know, write down below if you've always rubbed your wrists together. Forever I did. I couldn't believe it when I learned that, but our pulse points are back here behind the ears. You can spray it across your chest, your neck, behind your knees, your elbows, but I like to hit the wrists. I like up here too, because when I wear a scent, it's very personal and I want to smell it. Sometimes I'll even use the body mists that are coming up, because sometimes I want myself to be the only one who smells it, right? And yes, can you spray it into the air and walk through it? Yes, but a lot of these fragrances really love to evolve on the skin. So I got to tell you, I'm a fan of, spraying it in the air and walking through it and all that, but let a fragrance really get onto the warmth of your skin, and that's when you'll notice it when it's at its fullest, when it's at its most perfect. Okay, I want to talk about another eau de parfum, and then we'll get into these lighter body mists. Stay right there. We got more from the beautiful Ellis, Brooklyn. We've had a little bit of a wardrobe change to talk about Apple Love. Now, I'm not going to play favorites, but if I had to pick a favorite, and I don't have a favorite, it's Apple Love. There's something about this. It's just reminiscent. I'm going to put some on while we talk. I'm trying not to put them all on, but it's just reminiscent enough of and let it dry on the wrist, of an apple. It's just kind of fruity, but really delicate and just delightful. There's just something really positive and happy, fragrant. You just get these little notes. This is really known as the brand's fragrance love letter to New York City. After all, they're based in Brooklyn. It's kind of the energy and sophistication and headiness of the city. Yeah, and I can see that. It's, it's kind of a signature amber gourmand fragrance, and that gourmand is in there. It bursts with juicy photorealistic apple. Those are their words, not mine. Photorealistic apple. Yeah, I actually can kind of see that. And it goes really, really chic, and that scent, oh my goodness, if you sleep in it, it will still be there. There's a little note of praline in this, and it uses 7 upcycled ingredients. This is, like I told you, this is PETA certified, totally sustainable fragrance. And that's what's really nice about it. You're not wasting anything. The actual fragrance itself is good for the environment. The bottles are totally recyclable. 20.4% of the ingredients are completely renewable. So we've got red apple in this. Listen to this. Mandarin, peach skin, plum blossom in the middle of it, and muguet, which is like it's like a lily, and sugar cane. That gives it that sweetness. And then when it dries down, we have sandalwood and vanilla Madagascar, praline, ambrox, and a little bit of musk. Just a hint, not enough to kind of dirty it up, but just enough to keep it grounded. So it's not too young of a fragrance, if you know what I mean. And if you love fragrances like I do, you can comment below and tell me if you understand what I mean there. I like the fact that it's grounded and real. It's sophisticated, but it's still very much alive. It doesn't smell like your grandmother's perfume. Now, there's nothing wrong with your grandma's perfume, but this still has a little bit more excitement and burst of energy from it, and doesn't feel as staid and doesn't get as old smelling. It just stays really vibrant through the day and is really potent. Now, when we come back, we'll do a little wardrobe change. When we come back, I want to talk to you about the body mists. If you've never used a body mist before, I think you're going to really enjoy this. It's a great way to wear and layer your favorite fragrance, so stay right there. Depending on where you live right now, you might be a little cold and drab and in need of a little sunshine. I have got just the fragrance body mist for you. This is Sun. Now, Sun is a body mist, and you can see the difference in the bottle shapes and the amount of product. This is 100 milliliters for $48, whereas both of the Eau de Parfums are 50 milliliters for $110. They're more intense, and you would use less. The thing about a body mist is you can get out of the shower. Well, it doesn't have to be from the shower or the bath, but that's how I like to use it. And as my skin is still warm and even moisturized, I like to spray a body mist pretty much head to toe. You don't have to, but pretty much head to toe. You can even layer an Eau de Parfum afterwards if you would like to. These are a little less intense, and they pair well with others, or just make for a really clean, nice, fresh scent when you get dressed in the morning. And Sun is supposed to be, it's like a beach party captured in a bottle. It's joyful, it's playful, it's youthful, and it's supposed to be reminiscent, it actually quite is, of an afternoon in the sun, with 30.4% upcycled ingredients. They are that specific, and 37% renewable ingredients. Oh, I'm just smelling it in the air. So nice. It's got this kind of sweet mandarin scent to it, which is like perfect, evoking the sunshine. Little hint of lemon, some clementine, little orange flower in the middle with pear blossom, and of course a little bit of vanilla, which is why I really love to put this on. And then a little bit later, before I leave the house, just a little hint of the vanilla. They go together so well. And then when it dries down, it's got cedar wood and a teeny bit of musk and some ambrox super. It's absolutely lovely. You don't have to pair it with something, but I really like to layer with the body mist. I think it's just kind of ideal. But really, you got to find your own combination. I just feel when I put this with the vanilla that it just brings the best out of one another. And layering fragrances has become my little hobby as of late. Honestly, it has. Okay, let's move on to the next body mist. Stay right there. Next up we have, another favorite. This is a really nice warm fragrance, a body mist called Sand. And Sand is just like Sun. Sand is 100 milliliters, $48, so you can just go ahead and use it to your heart's content because it's not that strong. Again, I love to layer these. This is kind of a sweet, warm scent, warm like feet on the beach in the hot sand. It lingers just a little bit more, I think, than Sun does, but it's very inviting and a little bit addictive, kind of like warm bare skin. It's 86% biodegradable, and they reduce the water use for the scent creation. So everything that goes into the scent, it's not just about how it makes us feel and how we go about our day and how it lasts and how it retains its beautiful fragrance, but it's also about what goes into making the bottles, the packaging, the thoughts with the scent creation. It's got Italian bergamot, pink pepper, coconut, milk. This has ginger lily and jasmine, and I think jasmine is what gives it its warmth, if you ask me. A little bit of absolute, and of course we have some vanilla, sandalwood, and that's just that little tap hint of musk. Again, another one that I like to pair with my vanilla. When it lists vanilla, and maybe that's just because I'm not thinking enough outside of the box, as they say, but I really like to do that. I like to look for those and kind of put them together. My apple, I tend to wear alone, but anything with a little bit of a fruit in it, I've really been meaning to try to pair these. I just always go to pair with vanilla, but you know, that's guess that's a little basic of me. I have two more that I want to share with you, so stay right there. From the sun and the sand, I now want to explore the sea body mist. This is also 100 milliliters, also $48, and this is, all about the waves, really. This one is a little bit more citrusy and has 35.56 natural ingredients. I told you they're precise, and 29.17% renewable ingredients. So now I just put the apple on, as you guys noticed a few minutes ago. Let's go ahead and try this, because this has some lemon and mandarin. When we get in some ginger, which I actually think might be nice with the apple. Also some pineapple leaves. Some dewy cassis. We've got some tonka bean, cedarwood, sandalwood. This one leaves out some of that musky scent, so it's a little bit brighter. It's not as, as earthy. Oh, and it's delightful with the apple. That's actually the first time I've tried that, is here on camera. Oh, that's really nice. So I think what I'm going to do tomorrow, because I like to put the mist on, that just preference. You can wear this just like you would a cologne or a perfume, but I like to put it on like right after I moisturize. I just feel like I scent it all day, and then I think I'm going to put the apple on. Those are really nice and bright together. This lifts the apple a little bit, and to me, that's the fun. When you start experimenting and comparing, I think that's where the fun really is. Now, we're going to do my second favorite. I saved it for last. Well, you'll see in a moment, won't you? So the last is my second favorite, although I don't have any favorites. This is one of my favorite scents in the world, and that is, of course, peach. If it says peach, I'm on it. Peach pie, peach lip gloss, and this Peaches body mist, as the other body mist, is 100 milliliters and $48. And let's talk about this peach, because this is a playful peach, but it's not a flighty peach. Let me tell you what I mean. It's kind of a 90s peach scent, meaning that it's grounded. It's got the allure of peach, but it kind of, it's inspired, and this is from Ellis, Brooklyn, they say, by the kind of 90s grunge movement. Like shopping malls and anthemic songs and daydreams. That was my time, by the way, the 90s. It's got a juicy kind of stone fruit, peach, but it's also got that orange flower and ambient musk. So it grounds itself. 26.8 renewable ingredients, and that sugared musk, it's like a sugar. So the musk is there to ground it, but it's also kind of sweet. Oh, I just wanted to spray it in the air. Oh, there's nothing nicer than that. But it's so nice. It's like a really earthy, beautiful peach, to go with your flannel for the 90s. It's got, on the top notes are a sweet peach and a little bit of kind of a pink pepper and a water lily. So it's got that slight bit of floral. It's got rosebud, orange blossom, orris in the middle. And then when it dries down, we have sandalwood and amber and upcycled Virginia cedarwood. And of course that sugared musk. And it's just, I think this would layer with anything, but I like to wear this one alone. Just personally, I really love that smell of peach, and I just want to make sure that it's unadulterated. And this one is really complex to me. I'm not saying you shouldn't layer it. I'm just telling you how I use it. This one is really just complicated enough in a good way for me, and so I love it. You guys, I just wanted to introduce you to my favorites, but I will have the Ellis Brooklyn website linked below. I want to thank Ellis Brooklyn, but I have a little bit of a surprise. Starting today, for 72 hours, if you use code Rebecca10, you can save 10%, which is a nice amount off of any fragrances that you purchase. Use the code Rebecca10 for the next 72 hours, and you can get 10% off your purchase. If you are a fragrance fan like I am, and you really like these gourmand scents, you owe it to yourself to try this. I will never go back. I am so embarrassed that I'm new to them, but I have been living with these fragrances for well over a month, and I am never going back. I am so grateful to the brand for partnering with me. New friends, new favorites. I love it. Ask me any questions below. And don't forget that right now, using that link below, go to the website, and if you type in Rebecca10 at checkout, you will get 10% off your order, which I think is incredibly cool of those lovely people over at Ellis, Brooklyn. Let me know any questions you want. This is what makes us a community. Tell me how you pair your fragrances. And if you are already a fan of Ellis, Brooklyn, as so many of you are, tell me what your favorites are. I just presented you with a little handful of my favorites, but there's so much more on the website, and anything that you like. If you would prefer a floral instead of a gourmand, I just love gourmand. So anything you like is on there. Go and check it out. Meanwhile, make sure that you subscribe to my channel for all of your beauty, fragrance, hair, and such content. I'm so happy to have you here. Share, like, subscribe, and I hope to see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.